Hey guys, it's Evelyn and constructions from upstairs. For the past month, I've done one thing and one thing only, which is to love myself and make myself happy. I feel like for the past year, I've been trying really hard to convince myself that I'm happy or like trying to be productive, that I've actually put zero effort in actually making myself happy, if that makes sense. And so I spent the entire past month practicing self-care, not by investing in expensive skincare products, obviously not by investing in manicures, but I've actually tried to be my own therapist in a sense and developed science-based, mostly free happiness hacks. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing free online courses, apps, books, podcasts, and some daily habits I've been engaging to make myself happy, and hopefully it'll make you and your loved ones take this year a little easier on yourselves too. So let's get started. So I wanted to start off with 2 free classes I have taken on Coursera to provide you with a theoretical and scientific basis on what happiness is, what that means to you, and what methods you can employ to achieve it. Actually, achieve is a weird word. I don't think happiness is something that you like need to work hard to get. Sometimes less is more. And I think the professors will actually explain this concept better than I can anyways. So the first course I would recommend everybody to take, if you haven't taken it already, is the Science of Wellbeing with Professor Laurie Santos. It's available for free on Coursera. By the way, no part of this video is sponsored or anything. I don't know who would sponsor me, but they're just things that I've used that I've found helpful. The vast majority of them are free, so everything I say is my own opinion. Going back to the Science of Wellbeing, it goes over a lot of the misconceptions we have about what would make us happy, why we arrive at those misconceptions, and what are some cognitive strategies we can employ to overcome those biases. For example, a lot of us may think that money makes us happy. In some senses, yes. If you're below a certain threshold, absolutely money is super important in the pursuit of happiness. Once you already make, say, $100,000 a year, every dollar more you make, instead of making you $1 happier, it actually makes you want $1.40 more worth of things. So this is something called hedonic adaptation, where as we make more money, we only want more things than the money we make can afford, which doesn't make us happy. I studied psychology when I was an undergrad, and I've always been interested in behavioral economics and cognitive psychology, so not a lot of the concepts introduced in the course are new to me, but they are organized in a way that help me reflect on how I can use those concepts to make myself happier. So even if you were or you are a psychology major, I would still say at least finish all the lectures. It takes 4 hours or so, and it would really revolutionize how you understand happiness. And if you're still interested in learning more scientific basis of what makes you happy, the next course I would recommend you take, which is what I'm currently taking, is a course named Buddhism and Modern Psychology on Coursera. It's taught by Princeton professor Robert Wright. It goes over the basis of mindfulness and meditation from the combined perspectives of Buddhism and evolutionary psychology. This course is really not convincing you to be a meditation guru or a Buddhist or anything like that, but it gives you a foundation of what meditation is and how you can engage it to be more at peace and turn off a lot of the unwanted thoughts and emotions in your life, which happens to be something that I struggle a lot with. I think if you're ever interested in happiness or like well-being at any point, you would probably heard of the concept of meditation and mindfulness. I've heard about it for years. I've tried meditation in the past and didn't find it very helpful, and I think that happened because I've never truly had a understanding of the science of meditation, and the Buddhism and Modern Psychology course is the perfect remedy for that. Speaking of meditation, let's talk about some of the favorite apps I've been using to boost happiness. I'll talk about 3 of them here: Waking Up, Mood Meter, and WOOP. Waking Up is a meditation app developed by neuroscientist Sam Harris. I have been following daily meditations on that app for 4 weeks now, and it has really transformed how I understand meditation and how I engage with my mind on a day-to-day basis, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day. Waking Up is very different from all the other meditation apps on the market. Personally, I've tried Calm, I've tried Headspace, and I didn't find those to be particularly helpful because they're more focused on very mechanically what to do, but I just don't feel like I get it and I don't feel like it's helpful. Waking Up, on the other hand, offers you both theory and practice. In the theory section, it has mini lectures on key concepts in mindfulness, like what is reality, time, space, and attention, as well as conversations with prominent psychologists, neuroscientists. One of those conversations is with Dr. Laura Santos about the science of happiness. So all of those mini courses and conversations will give you a way beyond surface level understanding of what meditation is and what's the significance of practicing meditation. This app, and again, not sponsored, is available for $99 a year. However, if you want to try this app but have to think about whether you can afford it or not, don't. Simply go on the Waking Up website, send them an email, and they will give you an account for free, no questions asked. Another app that I've been using lately is called Mood Meter. It's kind of like a mood tracker if you're into bullet journals. I honestly don't remember where I found this, but the Mood Meter app is developed by the Social Intelligence Lab at Yale. It basically sections your emotions into 4 quadrants based on whether it's high or low energy and whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. And then once you pick the emotion that best describes your state of mind, you can record where you are, where that emotion occurred, and reflect on the causes of your emotion. I found this app to be very helpful in giving me the vocabulary to identify what emotion I'm experiencing. A lot of times I found myself to just be like feeling negatively and I wouldn't know what it is specifically that I'm feeling. As a result, I would not be able to develop any strategies to like get out of it. But this app will guide you to discover what exactly you're feeling, how you arrived at that feeling, and at the end of the entry, if you click to shift away from this emotion, then the app will give you a recommendation, whether it's sitting with your pet or like calling a friend, something simple and practical to help you switch gears and get into a more positive mindset. I would highly recommend that you check it out if you want to be more in tune with and eventually be the master of your emotions. The third app I've been using is WOOP. WOOP is a free app available on the App Store, and there's also a web version. It stands for Wish, Outcome, Obstacle, and Plan. When you're feeling stressed or if you have a goal that you don't know how to achieve, WOOP is basically a strategy to identify that wish, really visualize what is the most positive outcome out of accomplishing that goal, be realistic, and visualize obstacles that will be preventing you from attaining that goal, and then making specific tangible plans to overcome those obstacles. It would rewrite your anxiety and stress into energy and motivation to take very specific actions to overcome the obstacles. All it takes is 1 to 5 minutes out of your day. When I'm stressed about posting a YouTube video, for example, like right now, that is my biggest source of stress. I would just take it out and think about just how amazing it would feel when I upload that video and see all your guys' comments. Like, you leave such nice comments. So thank you. And you're welcome for not having to hear the cheesy stuff I actually said on camera. Moving on to books. Let's start with my recent obsession, Why We Sleep by neuroscientist Matthew Walker. It really nails down mind-blowing misconceptions about sleep. Growing up, I've always thought you can sleep when you die, it's not that important. Once I've literally told my friend Margot that I can sleep 4 or 5 hours a day and be just fine. How wrong and stupid. Okay, rather than idleness or laziness, which is what we usually misunderstand sleep to be, it's a very synchronized, complicated action of our neural network. Throughout the night, we go through 4 stages of sleep, and each serves its unique functions in repairing and growing our cognitive functions, immune system, expanding our creativity, incubating our thoughts and ideas. This book not only goes into details about benefits of sleep as well as consequences of not getting enough sleep, and by enough sleep I mean 7 to 8 hours a day. Sleeping 6 hours a day, which I feel like is a common practice if you're in college or like you're 20 something, is actually cutting out the biggest chunk of REM sleep. That's where your brain produces dreams, and that is where your creativity really gets expanded. This entire year I actually have slept very poorly because of stress, and also because I felt like I don't don't deserve to sleep for 8 hours a day because I haven't been productive for the rest of the day, if that makes sense. I've basically been very intentionally sleeping very well on schedule for the past month. I feel like my skin is better, I'm losing less hair. People around me are telling me that I'm happier and brighter. Cognitively, I feel more focused. I think that has to do with meditation as well. Okay, I feel like this part of the video is starting to sound magical, so just wanted to pop in and say, if you're struggling with mental health issues or if you're just really not in a good place, please go find a therapist and seek professional help. Sleep and meditation and all of the happiness hacks I share here are great supplements, but they're not panaceas for all mental health issues. Sometimes you have to give yourself a little love and just know that you're not alone. Okay. If you don't have time to go over this entire book, I'll link in the description some TED Talks done by Matthew Walker that basically touch on the gist of the benefits of sleep and how to sleep better. I'm thinking about doing a whole separate video on like good sleep habits and like a night routine. Maybe if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. Whether you're into mindfulness or not, you've probably heard of the book The Power of Now. It talks about the importance and the general practice of being present. To be honest, I have personal reservations about this book because I'm all about being scientific and having matters of the mind based in neuroscience and psychology. I feel like this whole entire book and the whole entire body of Eckhart Tolle's teaching is based on his quote-unquote personal awakening. It's kind of this one very spontaneous event of like him just waking up from depression one day and feeling an overwhelming sense of bliss. You can't expect it to reliably repeat itself on other people. I do think mindfulness is a gradual process through days and years of practice. No one in this entire world is perfect. No spiritual teacher is perfect. I think there are still valid points in his teachings we can take and learn from. Ooh, okay, where are we? Podcasts. Nowadays, I feel like everybody who has a decent size of following feels like they need to start a podcast, which makes it increasingly challenging to find
good ones.
So I'm here to introduce a few that actually offer valid information and are conducive to making you happier. My first recommendation is The Happiness Lab by Dr. Laurie Santos. Yes, we have heard from her before. She is the instructor of the Science of Wellbeing on Coursera. Because that course got so popular on Coursera, she started this podcast as a spin-off and dives deeper into some of the concepts she has introduced. During the COVID pandemic, Dr. Santos released a series of episodes targeting stress, anxiety, relationship problems, and some of the common COVID-related happiness topics. I found them to be really helpful in dealing with the stress in the pandemic. Another podcast I've been listening to is Making Sense with Sam Harris. Compared to Waking Up, which is more focused on mindfulness and consciousness and brain sciences, Making Sense has broader topics on current politics and economics. Just to name a few of my favorite guests on his show: Tristan Harris, if you've seen the Netflix show The Social Dilemma, Yuval Harari, the author of Sapiens. Two other podcasts I've been obsessed with lately are both from the Freakonomics Radio Network. The Freakonomics Radio podcast is a series of conversations between Stephen Dubner and scientists, economists, journalists about popular economic concepts ranging from policy making to behavioral economics, which is my personal favorite. And a relatively new show that is kind of a spin-off from Freakonomics Radio is called No Stupid Questions. It's co-hosted by Stephen Dubner and Dr. Angela Duckworth, who is the author of Grit. They discuss questions in the social sciences with very practical daily relevance. For example, why do we buy things we'll never use? Should we separate the art from the artist? Stephen Dubner and Dr. Duckworth are really good friends personally, and so their conversations are just like very lighthearted, and they would make jokes on each other that you would not make if you didn't know each other very well. That little interaction, I think, is really cute to watch. I think Freakonomics video and No Stupid Questions are less relevant to happiness and well-being per se, but listening to those shows make me happy because it gives me a sense of engagement in this world where it makes me feel like here are some opportunities. Maybe I can do something to make some positive changes in the world. Hello, this is Evelyn's editor Emily, and construction's upstairs. From here, Evelyn went on for an hour talking about happiness habits that she's been incorporating in her daily routine, but she has become delinquent and incoherent. So, in the spirit of quality over quantity, we've decided to cut that part out, you're welcome, and make a whole separate video on habits that boost your happiness. Now I'm gonna cut directly to the outro, which is basically a wordy version of like, subscribe, share with a friend, I love you, bye. I probably forgot a bunch of things that I originally wanted to say, but I hope you found the things I shared helpful. If you do, feel free to share it with a friend or a loved one. And of course, if you have your own happiness hacks, well-being tips, please feel free to share them in the comments. Thank you for sticking around. I will see you next time. Bye!
Just give me something to live for.